They told you healing was a journey of 1,000 steps. What they never told you is that you're walking in circles. You talk about your pain. You analyze your past. You identify your triggers. Yet, nothing fundamentally changes. That's because you've been taught to read the table of contents, but you were never given the key to the book itself. There is a reason for this. There is a technology of the self, a protocol for total clarity, that was deemed too direct, too potent for public knowledge. It wasn't a therapy. It was a targeted excavation. It didn't just show you your wounds. It showed you the original blueprint of how they were constructed. This knowledge was not suppressed because it was ineffective. It was suppressed because it grants you the one thing they cannot control, the power to see your own programming. This is the black file technique. And today, we are not just going to open the file. We are going to decode the very language it's written in. Welcome to the Silent Order. Part 1. The Language of the Wound. To understand the power of this, you must first understand a terrifying truth. Your pain is not random. Your anxiety, your self-sabotage, your irrational fears, they are not feelings. They are messages. They are encrypted signals broadcast from a locked room deep within your psyche. The black file is that locked room. It is the raw, unedited archive of every experience that fractured your identity. It holds the moments that taught you to be small, to hide, to betray yourself, to be loved. Traditional therapy teaches you to listen to the static of these signals. It helps you describe the noise. The black file technique does not care about the noise. It gives you the decryption key to read the original message. This technique first emerged in whispers among a small group of radical trauma theorists in the late 20th century. They discovered that certain methods of inquiry could bypass a person's conscious narrative, the story they tell themselves, and access the raw sensory data of a core memory. The results were explosive. Clients would break down, not in sadness, but in shock. The shock of recognition. One researcher noted in a now buried paper, the subject didn't just remember an event. He re-experienced the exact belief that was forged in that fire. He felt with absolute certainty, the moment his mind decided I am worthless. After that, 20 years of therapy seemed like a conversation about a locked door he suddenly held the key to. This is why the technique was flagged as dangerous. It doesn't validate your story. It demolishes it. It reveals that what you call your personality is often just a complex fortress you built around a single, petrified belief you formed as a child. The system doesn't want you to have this key. An industry is built on you endlessly describing the door. A society is built on you never questioning who you became after it slammed shut. I am giving you the key. But be warned. Once you read the code, you can no longer pretend you don't understand the machine. Your innocence will be the price of your freedom. Part 2. The Cipher Protocol, Decoding the Black File. This is not a meditation. This is a psychological excavation. You will need a quiet space, a pen, and paper. Nothing else. This protocol is a sequence designed to trace a present-day emotional symptom back to its source code. Phase 1. Isolate the encrypted signal. Do not think about a memory, think about a pattern. Identify a single, recurring, negative behavior or feeling that you cannot consciously control. Examples: the sudden, overwhelming need to people please, or the flash of rage at minor inconveniences, or the chronic low-grade anxiety when things are going well. Write this one pattern at the top of your page. This is your encrypted signal. This is the starting point of our hunt. Phase 2. Trace the signal to its source. Now you will become a detective of your own nervous system. Close your eyes. Evoke the physical feeling of that signal. Don't think about it. Feel it in your body. The tightness in your chest, the heat in your face, the hollowness in your stomach. Ask yourself this one question, forgetting all context. When is the very first time I can remember feeling this exact physical sensation in my body? Let your mind drift. Don't force it. A scene will emerge. It might be from 5 years ago, or it might be from when you were 5 years old. It is the first time your body logged this specific signature of pain. You have found the source event. Phase 3. Identify the core belief, the decryption key. Open your eyes. Write down the memory of that source event. Be brief. Now look at that event and answer the most important question of this entire process. In that exact moment, what brutal decision did I make about myself or about the world in order to survive? The answer will be simple and it will hurt. I must be perfect to be safe. My needs are a burden to others. I am, and will always be, alone. Effort leads to humiliation. This raw, painful sentence is the decryption key. It is the line of code that has been running your life from the shadows ever since. Phase 4. Verbalize the decoded message. You must now break the spell by speaking it. Read the following sentence aloud, filling in the blanks. I now understand that the pattern of your negative pattern is a subconscious reaction designed to protect me from the core belief that your core belief. Say it again. You are dragging the unconscious program into the conscious light. You are translating the cipher. Phase 5. Assign a new command. The old program is now exposed. It needs a new instruction. Decide on one simple physical action you will take the very next time you feel the encrypted signal start to run. It must be an action, not a thought. Examples. When I feel the urge to people please, I will physically place my hand on my stomach and take one deep breath. Or when I feel the flash of rage, I will immediately leave the room for 60 seconds. This action is a pattern interrupt. It's a conscious command that overrides the subconscious code. You are installing a new protocol. Part 3. The world after decoding. Why was this simple, powerful process never taught to you? Because a person who can decode their own suffering is a person who can no longer be easily controlled. The systems of our world are built on you misinterpreting your own signals. They want you to believe your anxiety requires their medication, that your feeling of emptiness requires their product, that your loneliness requires their app. They sell you infinite solutions for the symptoms because they thrive on you never, ever finding the source code. The Cipher Protocol takes you directly to the source. It shows you that your deepest pains are not a complex, incurable disease. They are a logical, albeit outdated, survival program running on a single line of faulty code written long ago. When you see this, the entire self-help industry becomes obsolete. The need for constant external validation begins to fade. You stop asking what's wrong with me, and you start asking what program is running right now. This shift in perspective is a declaration of sovereignty over your own mind. It is a quiet rebellion. And a world of sovereign minds is the last thing any system of control wants to see. Part 4. Living as the code breaker. After you successfully decode your first file, reality will feel different. Sharper. More clear. You will start to see the programming in others. You will recognize their anger, their neediness, their arrogance, not as their personality, but as the outdated survival code they themselves are trapped by. This knowledge brings with it 3 final rules for integration. Rule 1. Observe with dispassion. Your new clarity will tempt you to judge others or to try and fix them. Resist this. It is your ego. Your only task is to observe their patterns with the same dispassionate clarity you use on yourself. This is the foundation of strategic empathy, not sympathy. Rule 2. Relentlessly practice the new command. Your old programming is a deeply worn path in your brain. The new command is a tiny trail you just cut. You must walk it every single day. Every time the old feeling arises, execute your new physical action. This is how you turn a footpath into a highway. This is how rewiring happens. Behavior first. Belief will follow. Rule 3. Become the architect. You are no longer the victim of your own mind. You are its programmer. You can now use this protocol to identify and recode other limiting beliefs. You are no longer just living life. You are actively designing your internal reality. This is the ultimate power the Black File offers. Not just the relief of understanding, but the authority to rebuild. You become unshakable, not because you are without wounds, but because you can read the language they are written in. You are no longer haunted by your ghosts because you have learned to speak their tongue. You have reached the end of this transmission. This proves you are not here by accident. You were searching for the key. Now you have it. To mark this moment, go to the comments and write this phrase. The code is broken. It is a signal to those of us who know. A declaration that you are no longer running on the old program. And if you are ready to continue your training, to become a master of your own internal architecture, then subscribe to the Silent Order. Your real work has just begun.